Okay, dear students, today class is compared to administration. The administration is compared to others studies. This is very important for the BA first year students to know about the public administration and what are the importance of the comparative administration. The definition, nature and evolution. From the 50s of the last century, the two terms comparative government and compared to public administration have gained both publicity and popularity. A large number of American political scientists came to realize that the administrative structures and the process of administration of the newly independent states of the Third World War, Third World are different from the industrially developed states of European and America. The time old concepts of political science such as government, administration, sovereignty, etc., had a meaning and significance in the developed nation, but these conceptions lost some of their relevance when they traveled to the new states of Asia and Africa. But these new states were administrated and governed according to local systems, culture, customs, and procedures. To be more specific, the process changed, but the administration was conducted. In this background, some political scientists started to think of comparing political systems of different countries. They deliberately avoided the terms such as state sovereignty, etc. They also thought that for a comprehensive and fruitful analysis of the various aspects of state administration, it was necessary to compare the political systems of different states, and from this approach emerged the conception comparative or government or comparative politics. The term comparative politics is the study of political systems not as a isolated cases but through generalization and comparison. The political and governmental structures of countries are different. The administrative systems or structures are supposed to be different. The public administration of USA and that of the most undeveloped region of Africa can never be of the same type or character. The developed and undeveloped states are administrative, but the methods of administration are not same, and here we are comported with the term comparative administrative systems, or specifically the comparative public administration. Hereafter, only comparative public administration. In this regard, the considered opinion of a large number of scholars is, if we do not compare the administrative compared to administrative systems of different countries, we will fail to reach a defined opinion and conclusion towards the end of parties of the last century. Robert Dull said, as long as the study of public administration is not comparative claim for a Science of a Public Administration. Sound rather allow quoted by Ramesh K. Arora compared to public administration for a proper analysis of governmental structure and administrative systems. A comparison is the best way for this reason. In recent decades, the comparative government has earned wide popularity, so also the compared to public administration. We have now reached a stage when we can define compared to public administration in fair way when the administrative systems or structure of different states are compared. For the proper understanding of the subject, we call it comparative public administration. In his famous essay, The Study of Administration, Woodrow Wilson said that some principles of public administration might be borrowed from the administrative systems of Europe, but caution and intelligence must be adopted. In this view, Wilson referred to the comparative aspects of public administration. The public administration of a state must be in consonance with the socio-economic political structures of the state concerned. Hamilton, in his essay, said the administration of government in its largest sense comprehends all operations of the body politic, legislative, executive, and judiciary, but in its most usual and perhaps in its most precise significance, it is limited to the executive, since the executive system of various states are different, the administrative forms are bound to be different. This constitutes the central idea of comparative public administration. Compared to government and compared to public administration are not same. Compared to public administration focuses its attention on administrative structure, bureaucracy, patterns of administration, decentralization of administration, civil service system, and recruitment of government employees. The public administration is a part of government, and so also the comparative public administration is a part of a comparative government. But administration and government are not identical concepts. The public administration is a part of government. The public administration is according to the type of government. For example, we say capitalist state, we also say capitalist administration. The study of comparative public administration has gained momentum in recent years because of the fact that the emerging nations of Asia and Africa are trying hard to develop their economy and political system. The simple objective is to meet the growing needs of people. The Great Depression of the 30s of the last century drastically changed the entire administrative system of USA. In the same way, the challenges posed by the attainment of political freedom of the third world states forced the leaders and administrators to bring about necessary changes in the colonial administration. There is no such term like indigenous administration, but every administrative system must be tuned to the local needs and aspiration of the people. The administration source of comparative public administration. The World War II brought about radical changes in academic and other fields, and comparative public administration is one of them. During and after the war, many eminent political scientists and administrators were appointed to the policy determination department of US government, and especially in the public administration department. They observed that the public administration with which they are well acquainted, and the public administration they have taught in colleges and universities has very little relevance to the practical side of public administration. They desire to formulate new policies of public administration and studied the administrative systems of different countries. These two provided solid basis for a new approach to public administration, which later on came to be called comparative public administration. This did not entirely provide the materials for comparative public administration, but major parts came from this new change. We know that World War II completely completely they was devastated the economic and social basis of Western European states, and their rebuilding was badly needed, but at the same time it was felt that existing structure of public administration was incapable in meeting this recent necessity. A new types of public administration must be built up. At the same time, America came forward with large amount of financial help under the Marshall Plan. The authorities of these states with the existing system of public administration would not handle the aids under the Marshall Plan, and its proper utilization was behind its capability. The planners and administrators proceeded to reformulate the general principles of public administration, and this supplied materials for a new public administration. In building of a structure of a new public administration, the role of United Nations cannot be overlooked. From the various types of the activities of UNO, we come across the idea that the existing system of public administration of the developing nations of Asia and Africa do not possess the capability of handling the United Nations aid programs and its activities in various countries. This new situations put a demand upon various authorities for overhauling the administrative system. The world order changed the yielding place to new. Under the pressure of new circumstances created by World War II and modernization of economy, caused by the war, it was strongly felt that the existing form of public administration shall be changed to meet the needs of the new era. The old system of public administration was not aware of the modernization of economic system and the advent of new economic principles. The new situation called a called for a new structure and principles of public administration. Though Easton's general system theory is not directly related with a comparative public administration theory, the indirect relations is not insignificant. Easton in his theory has stated that political system is an opinion system. Its implication is political system is closely connected with the other system and environment. The implications in both political system and other systems or environment are interdependent. If so, the public administration of a political system or state can never remains unaffected if the forces of other systems public pressures on it. Let us explain it further. Being an open system, the public administration of a particular state or in historian praises political system is bound to be affected by the public administration of other states. The classification theory of public administration was quite free from this factor. The analysis of a comparative public administration in this way is claimed to be scientific because it passes through the ordeal of various states and scrutiny. Compression also bring about perfection. Compared to public administration and compared to administration group, Nicholas Henry observes cross-cultural public administration as the comparative approach also is called as a fairly new development in the field, the comparative public administration, and its rapid rise in popularly opened new vistas of a thought and analysis. To put it in other words, cross-cultural rational cross-cultural relations among the nation inspired the administrative authority of states to open new avenues of a comparative analysis. The comparative public administration became highly popular in the high tide of a Cold War period. The top administrators of White House and other offices of Washington thought that the public administration must be made appropriate to meet the challenge posed by Cold War. Henry has given a very beautiful analysis of this in the following words. As a result of the revised thinking, courses in comparative public administration began appearing in university catalogs, and by the early 1950s, the American Political Science Association, the American Society for Public Administration, and the Public Administration Clearinghouse were forming special committees or sponsoring conferences on comparative public administration. The real test came in 1962 when the Comparative Administration Group CAG, founder in 1960 of the American Society for Public Administration, received financing from the Ford Foundation that eventually totaled 5 lakhs dollar. We now have comparative administration group along with comparative public administration. The top policymakers during the Cold War period decided that in order to streamline the public administration, more money, materials, and energy are to be invested. The interest of the Ford Foundation reached highest peak at the highest of the Cold War. In the 60s of the last century, the Ford Foundation took special interest in the political and administrative efforts of the third world states. It is because the erstwhile Soviet Union took special interest in the political and economic efforts of states, and the class of interest and ideologies was aggravating day by day. So we find that Cold War was substantially responsible for the growing interest in comparative public administration and comparative administration group American administrative system in general, and the Ford Foundation in particular were responsible for the renewed interest in a comparative administrative system. The comparative administrative group emphasized the following field which are closely related with comparative public administration. Comparative administration group says that research work in comparative public administration and other related field should be encouraged. In the second place, there must be elaborate arrangement for teaching the various fields of comparative public administration. Thirdly, the principle devised or suggested shall have ample scope of application in practical field. Finally, the comparative administration group emphasized the building of the theory. We have already noted that the primary objective of Ford Foundation was to encourage the public administration, research, and investigation of the Third World War states. The authority of the Ford Foundation reminded the comparative administration group of this purpose. It has been found that comparative administration group sent number of researchers to the particular field to gather knowledge about the nature of public administration of the developing nations. By the doing this, comparative administration group established a fruitful link between the public administrative of industrially developed nations and the developing states of Asia and Africa. So far as comparative public administration is concerned, the comparative administration group performed a very important job, and subsequently this enriched the contents of the comparative public administration. This attempt of a comparative administration group surely performed a seminal task, and it is called intellectual emergency. Intellectual emergency. Comparative administration is the main administrative is a movement Comparative public administration is now regarded by many as a movement. The public administration in its classical form was primarily concerned with the administrative system, principles, and structure of any particular state. But today, after the rapid progress of a liberalization, globalization, and growing dependency among different nation states, the public administration has assured unprecedented dependency upon the administrative systems of different countries, and this has brought the public administration in the forefront forefront of administrative system. Here I quote a relevant observation of a critic: comparative public administration is the theory of public administration as applied to diverse cultures and national settings, and the body of a factual data by which it can be tested and expanded. Hence, we find that there is a difference between public administration and comparative administration. Comparative public administration. The general principles of public administration, when applied to particular field or situations, comes to be known as comparative public administration. There is growing demands in various corners of the globe for the basic principle of public administration, which ought to be tested through their applications in various political systems and culture. The demand first emerged in embryonic form in the United States, and later on the demand spread its wings in various parts. From the middle of the last century, the comparative public administration as a movement is gradually gaining momentum. A conference on an international political association was held in Paris in 1953, and in that conference it was demanded that public administration should be studied comparatively, otherwise its exact nature will never come out. The comparative public administration was not confined only in Paris. The movement spread in many other states of Europe. It was due to the fact that no relations among nations were gradually increasing. The comparative public administration was becoming more and more popular. The newly state of Asia and Africa, in their zeal to build up a basis of a new and developed states, were willing to modernize the public administration, but they were not willing to adopt the policy of a copycat. This practically resulted in the adopting or creation of new principles of public administration, and this urge continues. Hence, there is a movement of comparative public administration. The comparative administration group has inspired the comparative public administration movement in a considerable way. The general public administration as a theory and the sponsors of the comparative administration group also demanded that the comparative public administration should also have its own theory, and in order to achieve this, the specialists must continue research work The principles established by research shall be applied to practice in order to establish its acceptability and viability. The administrative systems of all states, especially of developing nations, should be properly analyzed, and the differences between public administration and developed and developing nations should be compared. In this connection, the contribution of a prerequisite should be remembered. He thought that the administrative systems and principles of the developed nations cannot be profitably applied to the backward or the developing nations. Riggs' approach to the public administration captured the attention of a large number of persons interested in public administration, referring Frederick Riggs' contribution to comparative public administration. Henry says that his strenuous efforts brought comparative public administration to the limelight. He also said that while studying public administration of a country, the ecology of a country must be carefully studied. Today, Rick's suggestions has been accepted by all, accepted by problems of comparative public administration. The fate of comparative public administration was faced with a problem towards the first years of the 70s. In 1963, the comparative public administrative group was formed, and both comparative public administration and comparative administration group made joint efforts for the progress of the former, but the comparative public administration does appear to have reached a critical point of development. In 1973, the comparative administration group was disbanded. The American Society for Public Administration (ASPA) was founded in 1962, and the ASPA was the real source of finance for the functioning of CAG, but the ASPA thought that the separate existence of CAG was unnecessary, and it was merged with ASPA. The separate existence and importance was felt unnecessary, or it was made superfluous. The person who were once interested in comparative public administration after the mid-70s, they lost their interest. In the 70s. May persons were eager to have degrees in comparative public administration, and by the end of 1990s, only few persons displayed interest. Several reasons have been adduced to the decline in the importance and interest of a comparative public administration. One such reasons is many eminent persons began to think that only public administration was enough, and if so, why comparative public administration? Many persons associated with the comparative public administration movement could not give any satisfactory reply to this question. During the Cold War period and even after the relaxation of a tension, many top-ranking administrators of USA began to think of a development administration and not about comparative public administration. This is a potent cause of the decline of a comparative public administration. Again, it was thought that only public administration was enough, and comparative chamber or approach is unnecessary. There is another reason in order to be a separate subject and important discipline. It must have a separate group of research, and its researchers must build up models and paradigms. Unfortunately, the comparative public administration has no such models. The comparative public administration earned goodwill and wide publicity under the aegis of comparative administration group and many organizations. But in the 80s and 90s of the last century, many showed their utter distin- disinterestedness in the subject. The comparative administration group and the financial help provided by the Ford Foundation made some people interested in the subject, but when the source of fund began to dry or dried, people's interest in it also began to dry slowly and steadily. Nicholas Henry has called the ill fate of a comparative public administration as a dilemma. Henry quotes sporadically from two or three writers. He says public administration should take full notice of the fact that comparative administration's failures rest substantially on a self-imposed failure experience. It set an unattainable goal that is in its early and persisting choice to seek a comprehensive theory or model in terms of which define itself. We, however, do not think that the comparative public administration is dead or the administration do not show any interest in the subject. While studying public administration, it is required that it should be studied if required in a comparative way, but that does not mean that the comparative public administration should or ought to be given the status of a separate subject or paper of social science. The students of public administration still study comparative public administration whenever any necessity arises. The meteoric rise of comparative public administration was due to the formation of comparative administration group and financial help given by the Foundation. Ford Foundation. Students of public administration do not display excessive interest in the subject, but sometimes they say that the administrative systems of different countries should be studied in a comparative way in order to have a full understanding of all aspects of the subject. So these are the comparative administration of the public administration, dear students. Thank you.